everyone, so today I'm going to take you through blush for beginners, and this is just my tips and my tricks to applying blush, what kind of brush I like to use and what kind of brushes are out there, what kind of colors, a little bit on that, and just basically blush for beginners. So I'm going to kind of take you through how I got this look, of course. And then what you guys can do, all sorts of things. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll show you my tips and my tricks on how to apply this. So the first things that we should know when applying blush is kind of a little bit about the colors and the different brushes. So you guys can generally use any brush, but there are usually two that are most commonly used, and I'll kind of take you through these. Also, what color blush should you apply? That is totally up to you. There's reds, there's pinks, there's plums, there's more burgundy colors, there's bright pinks, there's nude pinks, there's, tans. I mean, you name it. Some have shimmer, some are matte. Usually matte looks better, but that's totally up to the person. So I'm not going to be going through that today, because what you can just kind of try it out on your face and see what colors work best for you, or what's, what you're feeling, that kind of thing. So I'm not really going to take you through that, but I will take you through a little bit of the application, just kind of some beginner tips. So here are two different blush brushes, and as you guys can see, these are different shapes. This one is kind of angled and kind of puffy. This one is from Sigma, and this one is from Costco, and this one is kind of like soft and bunted, like a big circle. Now, I personally like to use this one. I don't care for this one. But what the difference is that this one is great for the apples of the cheeks, and if you're going to do up here, you could slowly drag the color down and apply it like this, or you could drag it up like this. And the other question is where to apply blush. These right here, when you smile, are considered the apples of your cheeks. Right here is the cheekbone, and anything on the cheekbone I kind of like to call the racer stripe. And you really want to make sure this is blended out so that you don't have these huge pops of color unless you're going to be on stage or something. And usually we contour right below the racer stripe and highlight right above it. So that kind of like frames our face nicely. But when we apply this blush, we usually apply it right here to the apples of our cheeks if you guys want. Or sometimes you only do the racer stripe or only do the apples. It's completely up to you. With this one, this is probably better for the racer stripe because it does have this angle. I really like to kind of concentrate here on the cheeks and then drag it upwards. Alright? And you guys can just build on this. If you guys want deep color, you just continue to build. If you guys want light color, just do it light. Also, what I like to do is apply a little bit of powder over, over it once I'm done, so that way it doesn't look, as far out as it would. It looks a little bit more blended when I apply the powder. So here's the apples. With this one, I like to either go down or in circles. This one, I would just kind of go in little circles or down, then I would probably pat this one up or drag it up. This one is really, really good for dragging up, so that's what I'm going to do. And also, another tip that I have is to getting your blush to look uniform, because sometimes we do one here and it's like weak, and this one's like whoosh. Have you guys noticed that? So I am going to kind of tell you what my tips and tricks are. For instance, I kind of gauge it by my nose. Where does my nose start and where am I at? I'm kind of at, below my eye on this side. I'm below my eye, just at my nose. Can you even kind of measure? So this is where I'm going to start my second apple of my cheek. This one looks a little bit low, so then again I'm going to bring it up. And you can just kind of gauge like that. Also, what I like to do, here's my ear, here's the base of it. I'm about 3 fingers up. So on this side, I'm going to go to the base of my ear and go about 3 fingers up. So this is where I want to continue this color. And that just really, really helps me to get it even so that I don't have these crazy, crazy stripes. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if one's going way too far up, it doesn't look uniform and things like that. So my best option for you guys, sorry I'm not even looking at you, my best option is just to kind of hold your face and really just concentrate on getting that in the same area. Again, here's some different motions. You could use a fluffier brush too if you really, really wanted, but I usually prefer not to. So we'll kind of gauge again. I'm a little bit lower on this side, so we'll just touch that up. So as you guys can see, this would be a very, very heavy application if I were going to an award show, if I was going to be on stage, something like that. This is the part where I can blend it out. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do this. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking a compact powder and a fluffy blender, or a fluffy, face brush, and I'm just applying my normal foundation powder right over this. I'm going to concentrate kind of on the places where it's darkest, where I want it to lighten up, and I'm just using really big swirly motions. Do you guys see how demure that is as compared to this now? Do you guys see that difference? So here, we look daytime appropriate. Here, nighttime or award shows. And so that's how I usually like to do it. And you know, you can do as many layers of this as you want, and that will determine on how much your blush really shows through. And let's say you felt like you did too much. You can just take your brush again and sweep a little bit more on. And also, this is really dependent, color at least is really dependent on your preferences. If you guys are going to be out at night, of course, you want to do something a little bit darker. Usually if you have red lips, you want to go for a pinker blush instead of, instead of a red or a purple hue. If you have nude lips, you usually do not want to go for purple because you might look a little bit dead. You know, there are some tips like that, but generally it's just up to your own discretion. So, yeah, those are my tips and tricks for beginners to apply blush. I hope that this helped you guys. That's just what I do. You guys can take it or leave it. If you guys have other tips for applying blush or tricks that you guys know to get it even or anything else that you have to share, please put them in the comments below so that we can all kind of talk together and collaborate and everybody be happy, informed people. So yeah, that's all. I'll talk to you guys in the next video, and I love you all very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.